Well, guys, can you believe it's been like 5 or 6 years since we've been on here? A lot has happened, but I will tell you this. One thing that has not changed is we have not stopped looking at the stars. Although we haven't been sharing it with you guys as a family, we still do it. It's just been very hard to make videos, and if any of you guys have ever made videos, you'll understand. So SVBONY was like, what do we got to do to get you guys to make another video? So they sent us this in hopes to get us another video out and be able to share with you guys what the SVBONY 520 telescope can do. So just like in our other videos, we're going to be showing you guys what you can actually see, because we can read off all the specs in the world to you, and especially if you're new to telescopes, it's going to be hard for you to know which telescope should I get. You know, there's tons out there. There's expensive ones. There's cheap ones. The sky's the limit when it comes to telescopes, and we were in that same boat. So we like to share with you what you'll actually see while using the telescope. So we're going to go ahead and open this up, show you what comes in the box. We'll give you some of the specs, but the most important thing is in this video, we want to show you what you can actually see and what to expect while unboxing and using this yourself. So let's go ahead and open this bad boy up. SVBONY 520 telescope. So it does come with the user manual. Let's go ahead and pull these bad boys out. Okay. So inside of this box is the actual telescope itself. So I'm going to wait until we get the tripod set up because I don't want this just rolling around on the table. So actual telescope. So if you guys are interested in this telescope, the link for this will be in the description. SVBONY was nice enough to send this to us to let us do a review and let them know what we thought about it and share it with you guys. So here is all of the parts. One thing that I did like about this when they did send this out with the listing is all these parts are metal. So this isn't like a plastic telescope. These parts are metal. So this is a look at the accessories that will be going on the telescope. So this is what would actually be holding it. And it does look like it has a camera mount. So this is what you'd hook your camera to, and then you could take a picture to the telescope. So that's what we'll try and do to show you what you can actually see with the telescope. And this is the tripod. So let's go ahead and start with that. All right, so here's the tripod. It is like chrome. So now we're going to need to hook up this little triangle piece. We should also probably be looking at the instructions. So let's go ahead and take a look at those. Okay, so I did some light reading and I just wanted to make sure that we had everything. So yes, I took it out of the box. And yes, the telescope could roll off into the abyss. We're just going to hope that it doesn't go anywhere. So to hook up your telescope, you want to take this little piece here. And there is a lock screw right here at the bottom. So when you get this, it's literally going to be too high. So it's going to be like up here. So you're not going to be able to put it on. So just tighten this all the way down and then loosen it so that this can go up and down. Don't take this off, but I just move it down here a little bit and then tighten it so it doesn't fall off. And then this part actually goes up through the top of the telescope. So literally take your little tray piece. It goes with this side facing up. You literally just feed it on like this. And then there's some threads in the top of this. You literally just thread this right in here. And then once the threads get all the way through, it's going to stop turning. Don't keep turning it. You're going to want it to go all the way through. So that's how you want it to stay. So it's actually going to screw into the mount up here. But that's what's going to keep, it hanging right here. And that way you can line all this up with the feet. So literally take your little triangle piece, raise it up. These do have locks on it. So when you flip it open up all the way, it does stop. So they can't just go forever. So literally just get it kind of about where you're going to need it. And then move this up. And then we're still going to have to adjust this because we're still going to be screwing this into the mount. So actually, we're going to be a little too high right there. So let's bring it down just a little bit. And what you could do is just leave it all the way at the bottom like that. So then when we screw it up to the top, you can just adjust this at the end. So let's probably do that. So it comes with your little mount here in the box. Like I said, everything in this thing is metal, heavy duty, and heavy, which I find super cool. The heavier the telescope is, the less it's going to shake when you're using it, which makes viewing that much better. So here's the mount. So got their logo down on the side of there. So this screw at the bottom of here is what goes onto this. So we'll go ahead and screw this into here. Let's turn it. Okay. So it does have a little flat spot down here. So you could twist this on with a screw, or not a screwdriver, but like a little wrench. So we might actually do that right now. So I'm not putting a bunch of pressure on that, but I just don't want that to fall off. Okay, so like I said, this is still going to be able to move because we didn't tighten this all the way up. So you literally just take this little screw at the bottom. You just, as you unscrew this, it pushes pressure up on this plate and then secures everything. So 90 millimeter. Keep this on, keep the dust out. So it looks like this is where we're going to be mounting the telescope up there. Looks like it's just the little slide on method. So we literally should be able just to slide it on in there. But let's go ahead and make sure that we are doing this right because we don't want it falling off. Okay, so mounting this telescope is literally as easy as loosening these two screws here, and then it literally just slides right in here. You don't have to like slide it, it can just go in, but just make sure that you're putting it the right way. So it does go this way, so be able to read the writing. And then when you put it, you want to make sure that this screw hole is facing up. So look at the writing and then make sure the screw hole is facing up. And without dropping it, we'll try the camera mount. The one thing that does make this telescope unique is it does come with a little remote. So when you're using this, if you're trying to take a picture and you're touching the screen or something, like if you try to touch the phone while taking a picture, it's going to shake it and make it blurry. This eliminates this. So I'm assuming this is Bluetooth to your camera on your phone, and then you just click the button on the remote and it takes a picture without making it blurry, because it is very hard to take a picture without doing that on a phone. So we'll go ahead and try that also and show you the pictures that we get from using this. All right, so I wanted to show you guys up close of this. This is the big knob that you'd be putting right here to turn the telescope up and down. This screw hole is what this goes in. Now, if you try and put this on after this, so let's say you put this one on and then you put this on, it's in the way and it's just harder. So I recommend putting this in. Now, it does have this special screw tip, so if you pull this plastic piece all the way up, it spins without. So basically, if you put this in, you could literally tighten it, pull it up, move it back, tighten it, pull it up, move it back, but that's kind of a pain. You only want to really be doing that when you're actually adjusting it. So I recommend just getting this all the way in where you want it, and then again, you can pull this up and move it to wherever you want it to stay, and then you can just loosen it. So tighten it. You know, when it's locked in, loosen it, then it's out of the way of your other secondary knob. So when you're putting this together, just make sure to put this little rubber grommet on before you put this on. And then it does have the little half moon, so go ahead and line that up in there. And I was thinking that it had a set screw, but I didn't see one, so I think it's just friction held. So this is what turns the telescope up and down, and then when you want it to be locked in place, you turn this, and then it keeps the telescope from moving. So go ahead and put this in here, and then a half moon on that way, and then that's what turns this telescope left and right. And actually, before we move on to the lens, I forgot to tell you guys that this is where the second one goes. So this is going to be the same concept as the other one. If you want it locked in place, you turn this all the way, and then it gets locked, so this won't turn it. Is what this does. And then it does have that same one where you pull it back and you can move it left or right. We'll go ahead and put on our finder scope, so pretty easy. Literally just goes right in this little notch here, and then the notch right here you see on the back just lines up here. So literally just slides right in. Tighten that. Okay, and then here's your spotting scope. So you want to make sure that the small piece is facing back towards you. So you can feed it back through here, just like that, and then tighten these in so that they're equal in the middle. So something like that. And we'll have to adjust it a little bit as we use it. Let's put this in. Simply just pull this out. These might need to be loosened just a little bit just to get it in there. There it is. Tighten these down. So this is the eyepiece that it comes with. Pull this one out. And we'll play with this a little bit and let you know what we think of the eyepieces, but just to get us started. So just like that. Okay, so when you're trying to find stuff, you're probably going to want to use an app that kind of maps the sky. And this is kind of cool because you'll be able to put your phone in here, mount it up here in the screw hole. Then you can kind of use the app to kind of guide you on what to find. You're still going to have to put in some effort to find it. I'm not going to lie to you. Finding stuff in the sky, if you haven't done it before, is going to be kind of, it's not necessarily impossible or hard, but it's just going to take some getting used to and figuring out, you know, where stuff is. And because when you look up in the sky and then you look in here, you're going to see way more stars than you do with the eye. So that's why you just have to get used to pointing out, finding the brightest star, and then kind of guiding yourself. But you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. So this is where your phone will go with your app. If you try to just if you put your phone on here and you're tapping the phone trying to get a picture, it's going to be so blurry you won't be able to see anything. So that is why they have this on here. So you can take a picture, and I'm assuming you'll probably record too, but this just makes it easy because then you just click it. There's no disturbance on the telescope. So I can't wait to try this out, and then we'll show you what pictures we get. All right, so I also did want to mention it does come with this 10mm, a Barlow lens, and a moon filter. So if you've never used a moon filter before, I just wanted to show you where you would actually put this. So inside of your lens here, there's actual threads inside of this, and this is threaded itself. So you would literally pop this out of here, and maybe I'll do this for you on camera. So I don't know if you can see that, but there is little threads on there. So you literally take the lens you're using and you just screw it right on there. So when you're looking at the moon, if you don't use this, it will be really, really bright. So it literally just goes on like that, goes back in your telescope. Okay, we have our lens in, we've got our finder set up, we've got everything put together and assembled, everything's working, tested out, ready to go out and start spotting stuff. So it's winter, so we're going to go outside and see what we can see. This might take us a few days to actually put it through its paces with clouds and everything. So these videos take a few weeks for us to make, but for you guys, you'll magically see this in the next clip. So we'll take it outside, see what we can see, and we'll report back to you guys, let you know what we saw, what you're going to be able to see, and our final review of this telescope. Okay, so we're here to answer the question, what can you actually see with the SVBONY telescope? So I just wanted to say thanks to SVBONY again for sending in the telescope for us to check out, give a review, and let you guys know what we think about it, and then to let you guys know what we can actually see. So if you're interested in this telescope, link will be in description. So let's go ahead. We're going to keep to the same theme. I'm going to give you some of the same things that we look at in past videos, so that way you can kind of, compare and contrast. Is this one that you would like to see? So starting with Jupiter, which is one of our, favorites and one of the things we look at a lot, 400 million miles away, or 35 light minutes. So pretty close, but yet still so far away. So here's a picture about what you're going to see. The cool thing with this telescope is, and I was very surprised by this, when you're looking at Jupiter itself, it is super crispy. I mean, like the moons don't really have a halo or a blur. It is very like a dot in the sky for the moons. It's very, very clear. The other thing that I did notice is you can see the stripes on Jupiter. So you can actually see kind of like a little, like the tiger looking stripes on Jupiter, which you can't see with just every single telescope. So Jupiter, super awesome. You can see the stripes. We're looking forward to looking at Saturn. We can't see Saturn right now. So we want to bust this thing out again. We'll do another review, in a couple months when we're able to see Saturn, because we want to see the ring. If you can see the gap in the ring, we're super excited to seeing that. So you can see Jupiter's 4 moons and even the stripes on Jupiter, which is super cool. So the next thing we looked at is the Sirius star, 8.6 light years away. Again, you can see this with the naked eye just fine. It'll be one of the brightest stars in the sky. But when you put the telescope on it, super awesome. Like a whole new star appears, essentially. I mean, it is so bright. I mean, you wouldn't imagine that just a telescope would, change things that much. But put the telescope in here, get it focused in there. It looks super awesome. It literally is one of the brightest things you can look at besides the moon. It is super cool, super fun to look at. Let's see, the other things we looked at were the Orion Nebula. That was 1,300 light years away, and that thing is super cool in here. What I love about this telescope is you'll see the Orion Nebula. Here's a picture of what it kind of looks like. But I can't emphasize enough how clear the stars are. So when you're looking through other binoculars and telescopes, every pair kind of varies, as far as like, I'm going to call it crispiness. So when you're actually looking at the star itself, how crispy is it? Meaning how clean are the edges? Does it look like a little dot, or does it kind of look like a little bit blurry? With this telescope, so crispy, like super, very detailed. Not a lot of, I don't know what the word is. It doesn't look like kind of blurry around the edges. It just looks very clean, like very high def kind of on the stars. Seven Sisters, you're going to see that super awesome. You look up at it, depending on where you are in the world, and the type of skies you have. When you look up at it, it is just awesome to see. You can see the Seven Sisters without binoculars or a telescope. You can see it with the naked eye. It will take some time. Like first of all, go sit outside for 15, 20 minutes. Let your eyes adjust to the darkness. You look up, you'll be able to see it with the naked eye if you're really looking for it, which will make it easier to use. Another thing that I would recommend, or not really recommend, but I think would be cool, is if you replace the spotting scope with a laser. So if you found something in the sky, you could replace the spotting scope with a laser, and then you could adjust it. So when you're moving this around, you can actually just watch the laser beam go into the sky, and you can kind of line it up, and then that way you're not looking through here. So with a laser, which we've done in the past, and maybe we'll do a video on putting a laser on this, but basically if you line this up on a star, lock it in where you want it, put the laser in here, turn the laser on, and then align the laser to where you're looking. That way you can move the telescope anywhere without even looking through the lens, and it will line up to roughly where you're at. And yes, they do sell lasers that you can see the beam and it's pointing at the star. Believe it or not, it is a real thing. So that's the small list of things that we could see right now. Again, this still took us weeks to make just because clouds and it is winter here and it's freezing cold. So we will be making a part 2. So we're curious what you would want us to look at. Let us know where you're at and looking at the stars. Maybe you have this telescope. Let us know if you're having any issues like seeing something, or you want us to take a look at something. You saw something that was super cool. When it comes to beginner telescopes, I would recommend this is a beginner telescope. And honestly, I think it's good for anybody. But if you're just getting into it, this thing would be perfect. We have plenty, and this thing holds its own when it comes to being compared to even some of our bigger telescopes. This thing is freaking awesome. And, I just can't wait to get it back out. We haven't had a ton of time to get to use it, just with the bad weather and constant snowstorms and whatnot. So we're doing the best we can to show you what we have. and we hope to get it out again soon. So let us know in the comments what you think, what we should look at, what we missed, what we should look at, and we'll see what we can do. We'll do our best to bring you guys more content. So leave those in the comment section below. Link for this telescope will be in the description, and let us know what you think. And until then, clear skies.